Well, let's see here. Where do we start? It was a solid two-a-day. It was a grinder work day. I got initiated to what move day is in Madison, Wisconsin, University of Wisconsin. Interesting concept. So we changed the schedule a little bit, got them through that day, but I thought they handled both practices well with a lot of distractions outside of football. There was a heavy emphasis in the afternoon on the throw, and heavy emphasis on a very physical practice this morning. Again, a lot of positives, a lot of give and take. If I was saying right now, who's ahead of the game, defense has definitely pulled away in the last couple of days, so hopefully the offense can reel them in, have a little bit of a live situation tomorrow for 7 or 8 periods, and we'll see how that goes. That'll be another great opportunity for everybody on the team to show what they can do in a real football scenario.
How do you think Dallas handled getting thrown in at center in the morning?
Not very good, and I blame that not on Dallas. Anytime something like that happens in that situation, I'll blame that on me. So obviously I didn't do a good enough job of getting him prepared in that situation, and we can all look and say Dallas this, Dallas that, but he wants to do it. He'll be fine. He did a lot of it in the spring, obviously, and he'll be prepared, but we need to make sure in those moments that we're doing everything we can to get him prepared. He snaps every day, does everything the right way, but we put the ball on the ground too many times. So ultimately, I look at myself right in the mirror and make sure I'm trying to help him and do everything he can and help Coach Woods and Coach Ludwig give him the time to have pre-practice snaps and the things that they need to get the centers ready to go.
When defenses are ahead of offenses at this point, does it matter?
I would say it's probably the norm, it really is, especially when you're dealing with as much movement as there is with this defensive scheme. So it doesn't worry me. Now, when we sit down and we play control football and we run the ball, we play action the ball to do the things that we do, I think the playing table is leveled quite quickly because we match up pretty good in those scenarios. When all of a sudden you've got the different blitzes and scenarios that are hitting them at third downs, it gets more complicated. So when I say that, it's kind of practice-based. It's going to be interesting to see what happens tomorrow again when we do go live.
It's now about the time you start to narrow quarterback snaps a little bit.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I would definitely say, tomorrow they're going to be fairly even as you go through it, but it'll start to filter that way as we go forward. We're thinking of moving into the game planning next week, Tuesday, and spending some time on some different opponents as we move through the last couple of weeks of camp, but we'll definitely have to narrow those down soon.
Joel worked with the ones a lot this morning, and then when you went to the 2, I assume that was the 2-minute there.
Yeah.
He was with the one. Does he have a little bit of an edge at this point now? In your mind?
I think it's really back and forth. I'm not going to say anybody truly has an edge right now. Some days Kurt's gone more with the first. Some days, Stave's turned around and gone more with the first. But it's narrowing down. It's getting closer to not a final decision by any stretch of imagination. The key is to get to 1 and 2s right now, and then move from there.
Do you feel comfortable saying it's a two-man battle at this point between Kurt and Joel?
No, not until we get past next Monday, and then I think we'll be able to really turn around and say exactly where it sits and what's going on. Tanner still needs his opportunity. We all have to remember, he's minus 15 practices, and he's also minus the opportunity to, he had summer, but there's a lot that goes into that. So again, hopefully the water's calm a little bit and he has an opportunity to compete at a high level on Monday, and then we'll go from there with all 3 of them.
Gary, go ahead. How's Chris Gilbin at center? Gary, do you think he'll be able to help you yet, or are you still evaluating?
That was a great thing when he decided to come here and be part of it, and even after today's situation with Dan, it's even shown more. But he's done good, very smart, unbelievably intelligent, picked up the offense, has played in a college system for 3 or 4 years, which has been great for him, and so you're not going to surprise him. He's been through this before, so he's a great addition to that offensive line.
Do you have an idea now how much time Dan Boltz might exist with that hamstring?
I think we'll know more in the morning. Those hamstrings have a tendency to take 24 hours to kind of really heat up or kind of cool down. So we're hoping for the best, and we'll see where it goes. And Mike and his crew will get him back as soon as possible.
What was your kicking situation? Are you pleased with either one of the guys?
I think we've punted. Drew punted the ball really well the other day, and that was a positive. That was a huge positive. I think in the kicking scenario, both of them at this point need to get the ball up. We need more loft on the football, and we've been fairly consistent. I have been impressed with the snapping overall in the shorts and the punts, and the short and the long snaps. We had a bad one yesterday that we ended up getting blocked. I think that was yesterday. They all run together right now, but you know, we're moving in the right direction. I think you know, we'll see how it all filters out, but you know, it's going to be one of those two kicking, and Drew's kind of solidified himself as the punter at this point.
When Coach McBride's around, Gary, what does that do for you? Is it more a social thing, or do you get something out of touching base with him? Or?
Well, you know, I think the number one thing is, you know, every year it's important to me to try to have, you know, somebody that can kind of be around and be around the program. And then I was not saying they're sitting here evaluating. Mac's still coaching. You know, he's still coaching for the Blaze, and it's arena ball. He's still getting used to less guys on the field and what have you. But he's here for professional development, and you know, anytime somebody comes in for professional development, can we sit back and say we don't learn from him? We absolutely do learn from him. But it's great for me to see him. You know, socially, for me to be around Coach Mac, and you know, I'm kind of glad that the guys on the football team get to see the guy that you know, I played for. He can actually validate the fact that I was a center and I was 290 pounds at one point, which nobody seems to believe. So that helps a little bit too.